Hello, how are you? Today I brought you a wonderful idea for breakfast or for an afternoon snack. And it's so delicious that it can even be served as dessert. It's a very economical option and it's rich in potassium. It has fiber, it has protein, you're going to love it. It keeps you feeling full for a long time. It's well balanced and very affordable. Stay until the end because you won't want to miss this. This recipe also has no sugar, no flour, and no gluten. I'm sure you're going to love it. Let me know down below in the comments. Do you have the habit of drinking coffee every day? This recipe here has a different idea for you to add to your coffee, and it's delicious. How many times a day do you drink coffee? Write it for me down below in the comments. To get the ingredients, check the description. And the nutritional information will also be in the description below. So look, the first ingredient I have here is my banana. And remember I told you this recipe is really rich in potassium? Because one of the ingredients here that contains a really good amount of potassium is our banana, right? Tell me, do you have the habit of eating bananas daily? Banana is an accessible fruit. It's a really good fruit for us to use in cooking because it naturally sweetens things. It already brings us an interesting carb here. So it helps give firmness and texture without needing to add more starch, flour, or anything like that. Bananas also contain a lot of fiber, right? A lot of people don't know that. And it's a very easy fruit, isn't it? One that we always have at home. So I'm going to mash this banana until it turns into a puree. And it's important that we mash it really well so it gets very soft before I add the other ingredients. So I'm going to do this calmly and I'll be back in a bit. Hold on a second. Here with our mashed banana, I'm going to add the instant coffee. Remember that instant coffee is dehydrated coffee, meaning they make the coffee, remove the water, and what's left are these granules. It doesn't have sugar or any other additives, so it's a good idea to add it to recipes like this. If you don't have it, add about an espresso cup of brewed black coffee, about 3 tablespoons, then adjust the next ingredient as needed to reach the right consistency. I'll show you which one it is in just a moment. So we're going to mix in the coffee. Remember that coffee is really interesting. When we think about coffee, I think most people think of that feeling of well-being, right? Of focus, energy, and concentration. Coffee is also thermogenic. It helps burn fat. Coffee doesn't just contain caffeine, it has many bioactive compounds, including chlorogenic acid. And many studies have already shown the protective role that coffee has, even for our liver. So it's really a very interesting food for us to add to our daily routine, not just because of the taste. So I'm mashing it here, our coffee is blending in and dissolving. And ideally we should add the coffee here first before the other ingredient, precisely so we can dissolve it well, because this instant coffee tends to have some clumps, right? So I'm even going to switch here, use my spatula to press it down like this to make it easier. Let me mix it well and then I'll be right back. Hold on. Now here I'm going to add 100% cocoa powder. Cocoa is different from chocolate drink mix, okay? It's really just the cacao fruit, which is dried, ground, and is natural, 100% natural, very rich in potassium, very rich in fiber, and low in net carbs. So it's an excellent addition to our recipe here. I'm going to add it in here as well. And like I mentioned before, if you used liquid coffee, you would have done this in a bowl. Of course, right? Not on a plate. Then you just keep adding the cocoa until you reach the consistency I'm going to show you next. So look, if you like healthy recipes like this that help you lose weight, help you control your blood sugar, help you control inflammation in your body, remember that I have plenty of playlists with recipes and tips all organized for you. And there are lots of delicious recipes that are quick and easy, low carb, low calorie, budget friendly, and made with simple ingredients. Look, so now I'm going to transfer our mixture here into this little serving glass, and I'll also make our topping, our second part here. So I've already put it in here, cleaned our glass, and now I'm going to make the second layer with natural yogurt and the same cocoa. Remember that I have a video here on the channel teaching how to make homemade yogurt and a video teaching how to choose a good quality yogurt at the supermarket. I'll leave these videos next to the name of the yogurt here in the ingredient list, okay? So you can learn more about this if you want. So also remember that if you want, you can add stevia or a non-caloric sweetener here if you think you need it for the yogurt. I'm relying on the sweetness of the banana itself, which was very ripe, so I'm not going to add any. But if you think you need it, that's totally fine. In fact, I have a video here called The Sweeteners Guide, where I teach you in more detail which sweetener to buy and which one to use for each type of preparation. And I'll leave that down here for you. Okay, and now I'm going to transfer our mixture and put it in the fridge because the yogurt will firm up a little more. And in just a little while, I'll be back so we can try it. If you want to have this ready the day before, it can be a really good option to make things more practical for your breakfast. Tell me if you like these things that we can prepare in advance. Lately, I've really enjoyed making these kinds of recipes. So I'm going to move this over here, place it carefully in the fridge, and then I'll be right back in just a moment. Hang on. I just got it from the fridge, and I'm going to show you what the consistency looks like. But before that, I'm going to sprinkle a little more cocoa on top, just to make it look really nice, right? I'm dying to try it. Now I'll show you the consistency of this delicious treat. Look. Make it at home. You're going to love it. Look at this. I just cleaned this up a bit so you can see the bottom layer better, since it got mixed with the top one when I put the spoon in. I can't wait to try it. It smells so good. So tell me, when are you going to eat this delicious treat? I'd love to see your comment. Leave a like on the video if you haven't already. It really helps me out. And share it with someone who will like it, with someone who needs it. Let's grow our chain of kindness, because that's what I want here on the channel. Let's try it. That's absolutely delicious. This combination of banana, coffee, yogurt, and cocoa is just perfect. Everything with coffee reminds me a little of tiramisu, but it also reminds me of banana chocolate truffles somehow. Make it yourself and tell me what you think it tastes like. See you next time. Bye.